Hey everyone, this is Dr. Ryan at Primal Chiropractic and Primal Elite Fitness. In our video blog today, we're going to be discussing how to rotate pain-free and especially how to improve rotation for any rotational sports such as baseball, golf, etc. We've been having a lot of golfers with low back pain lately, and what we try to explain to them is rotation is primarily designed in two areas of the body, especially for sport. It's through the mid-back and it's through the hip joint. If you're not pivoting your feet, you're going to be prone to low back pain. What we typically like in office is around 45 degrees of spine or mid-back rotation, and we have some tests to test you on that. And then when it comes to the hips, a lot of rotational sports are more internal hip dominant, and we like around 40 degrees of internal rotation, which we also have some tests done here as well. But we're going to discuss a couple of take-home exercises that you can do to not only improve the mobility concept of rotation, but also the stability concept, because both are crucial to making sure that you have not only the proper range of motion, but you're also pain-free. We're going to start with the mid-back first. So for the mobility concept, we're going to show you a nice little take-home exercise that you can do if you have a TheraBand. It can be done without a TheraBand as well, but you're going to get into a split stance and have the band around a hand. The reason why we use a split stance is because it helps stabilize the low back, because we don't want too much rotation in the low back. Yes, it's designed to rotate a little bit, but it's more of a stabilizer to allow movement elsewhere, up and below the chain. So if my left leg is straight, I really want to squeeze that left glute. The glute is one of the biggest muscles that helps not only stabilize the hips, but also controls the low back for not too much rotation. From here, once my left glute is squeezed and engaged, I'm going to rotate as far as I can, improving that mid-back rotation. And with every repetition, I'm just trying to break through that next barrier there. Okay, I'm just going to move my camera a little bit so we can talk about the stability component of rotation. So when it comes to stability, if we're not properly developed with the core muscles, this can also create sloppy mechanics and pain. So a nice exercise that we do here a lot at our gym is called an anti-rotational press. Grab a band, attach it to an anchor, create however much tension that you need to challenge yourself, and you're going to press straight out and in, not allowing the band to rotate you or pull you towards that anchor. Again, we're squeezing the glutes, so we're isolating that mid-back stability in the thoracic spine, and just make sure you hit the other side. Another exercise you could do if you just want to change things up, it's called a sandbag pull-through. You can use a dumbbell or other pieces of equipment as well. But basically, again, we're trying really not to have much movement in the body. We're just stimulating those rotational muscles. And you're going to pull that bag through side to side, really locking the core in. So we do not want to see much rotation like this. Keep everything strong and stable as you do that pull through. So these are great for stability. I'm going to move the camera again, and we're going to talk about the hips next. So when it comes to, again, the hips, especially with sport-specific rotation, it's more internal dominant as compared to external. So we're going to focus on the internal hip range of motion with mobility and stability. When it comes to mobility, this is a great go-to if you want to try this at home. You can lean against a wall. We're going to lift that outside leg up and rotate the body over the left hip. So as you can see, I'm creating internal rotation on the left hip. And then once we can't rotate anymore, we extend into the wall. And again, with each rep, we're just trying to break through that barrier as we go. We do this because internal rotation is always coupled with extension. So that's why we're training them at the same time. It's very functional and translates over into sports very easily. Last is the stability concept. So this is a very advanced exercise. It's going to take some time and repetition to get comfortable with. It's called a hip airplane, and it's great for improving not only hip stability, but also internal range of motion stability. First, you just need to be able to stand on one leg effortlessly. Knees should always be soft. You should be able to hold this at least for 30 seconds to a minute. If you can't, start here. Next, start to get comfortable with your hinging pattern. And we have several videos on this if you need more guidance on it. So again, the knees soft. Can you hinge up and down pretty effortlessly? To add the airplane, what you're going to do is, again, we're going to get into that hinge, and then we're going to rotate the pelvis down, again, improving that hip internal range of motion. And you can also work the opposite direction too if you want. Opening up is going to work more external range of motion, but if you can rotate side to side like this, no problem. You are really opening your hips up. And if you're doing all the mid-back stuff, get these two areas working together. Not only are you going to be very explosive in the sport, but you're going to be most likely very pain-free and feeling very nicely with this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the series. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we'll be glad to help.